Imagine standing in a circle of blinding white spotlights, with millions of eyes watching your every breath, knowing that in exactly 3 seconds, your entire life is going to change forever or stay exactly the same. That heavy, suffocating silence right before Carson Daly opens that iconic red envelope is where dreams either take flight or come crashing down to earth. And this season's finale of The Voice wasn't just a competition, it was a full-blown emotional earthquake that has left the internet absolutely divided. You could feel the tension radiating through the screen, a sort of electric hum that made your stomach flip, because this wasn't just about a trophy or a record deal anymore. It was about the grueling journey these artists took to get to that stage, the late nights, the rejected demos, and the moments they almost gave up on music entirely before a single chair turned and gave them a reason to keep breathing. To really understand why this specific winner's announcement is causing such a massive firestorm on TikTok and Twitter right now, we have to go back to the very beginning, to the moment these singers walked onto that stage with nothing but a microphone and a prayer. Think about the sheer courage it takes to stand there in the blind auditions. You're singing to the backs of 4 chairs, knowing that if they don't spin, you're going home to your normal job, your small town, and the haunting what-ifs that follow every failed artist. We saw singers this season who had been told no by every major label in Nashville and LA, people who were busking on street corners just to pay their rent, and suddenly, they were being mentored by global superstars who saw the spark that everyone else had missed. This season felt different because the talent was so evenly matched that every single week felt like a finale, and the bonds between the coaches and their teams felt deeper, almost like a family dynamic that made the eliminations physically painful to watch. When you see a coach like Gwen or Niall or Reba tearing up because they have to send someone home, it's not for the cameras, it's because they've invested their heart and soul into these kids, and they know how much it hurts to be told you're not quite enough. But as the live shows progressed, a clear divide started to form among the fans, and this is where the social media war really began to get ugly. On one side, you had the traditionalists who were rooting for the powerhouse vocalists, the ones who could hit those glass-shattering high notes and move you to tears with a simple ballad. On the other side, you had the Gen Z fans on TikTok who were obsessed with the vibe and the artistry, the singers who didn't necessarily have the biggest range but had a unique tone that felt modern and fresh. The comments sections on the official Voice Instagram posts became a literal battlefield. You had Reddit threads with thousands of people arguing over whether technique mattered more than soul, and Twitter was a constant stream of hashtags, with fans accusing the show of being rigged or favoring one specific coach's team over the others. Have you ever felt so strongly about a contestant that you actually found yourself arguing with a stranger online at 2 a.m.? It sounds crazy, but that's the power of this show. It makes us care about these people as if we've known them our whole lives. As we got closer to the final night, the atmosphere in the studio was thick with a mix of desperation and hope. The final performances were more than just songs, they were statements of intent. One contestant in particular took a massive risk by performing a song that was deeply personal to their own struggles with mental health and family loss, and you could hear a pin drop in that room. It was one of those moments where the competition fades away and all that's left is a human being sharing their truth. It's exactly these kinds of moments that remind us why we love music so much. It's the universal language of the brokenhearted. If you're feeling the weight of this story and you want to stay updated on every single update from the world of music and celebrity news, please take a second to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications for Talent Zone updates. We're a community of fans just like you, and we don't want you to miss a single beat of the drama as it happens. Now, as the finale broadcast hit its final hour, the energy shifted into something almost unbearable. The duets with the coaches were fun, sure, but you could see the glazed look in the finalists' eyes. They were exhausted. They had been through the ringer for months, and now it all came down to a few million votes from people sitting on their couches across America. The war on social media reached a fever pitch during the commercial breaks. People were claiming that the voting app was glitching, others were saying that certain fanbases were buying votes, and the conspiracy theories started flying. If contestant A doesn't win, I'm never watching this show again, was a common sentiment. But then, the moment arrived. The top 5 stood on that stage, clutching each other's hands so tightly their knuckles were white. Carson started reading the names from 5th place up, and with every name called, the stakes got higher and the oxygen in the room seemed to disappear. The first layer of the shock came when the person everyone assumed was the lock to win, the one who had dominated the iTunes charts and had the biggest social media following, was called as the second runner-up. The studio audience gasped so loudly it was picked up by the mics. You could see the coach's face fall, a split second of pure, unscripted disbelief before they masked it with a supportive smile. How could the frontrunner lose? This sent the internet into an absolute tailspin. Reddit was melting down in real time with people screaming that the silent majority had shifted the vote at the last second. It was a reminder that in live TV, nothing is guaranteed. The second layer of the reveal was the silence between the final two. It felt like an eternity. The camera zoomed in so close you could see the sweat on their foreheads and the slight tremble in their lips. They were two completely different artists. One represented the classic American dream, the underdog from a small town who worked a blue-collar job, and the other was a polished, professional-level talent who seemed destined for the Grammys. It was a battle of heart versus skill, and the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. When Carson finally shouted the winner's name, the reaction wasn't just joy, it was total, chaotic pandemonium. But here is the part that truly broke the internet and serves as the biggest shock of the night. It wasn't just about who won, it was about what happened the moment the cameras stopped rolling and the confetti started to settle. While the winner was being hugged by their family, the runner-up was caught in a moment of raw, unfiltered emotion that some are calling sore losing, and others are calling heartbreaking honesty. There are rumors swirling right now that a major contract dispute happened behind the scenes just hours before the finale, and that the winner might not have actually been the person with the most votes, but the person who was most marketable for the label's upcoming schedule. Think about that for a second. If the person you spent weeks voting for, the person you cried for, was bypassed because of a corporate decision in a boardroom, how would that make you feel? The fans are demanding a full audit of the votes, and the Talent Zone updates community is already buzzing with theories. Was it a fair win, or was this the most scripted finale in the history of NBC? As the winner took the mic for their final performance, their voice cracked, not from joy, but from what looked like pure shock, as if even they couldn't believe they had beaten the odds. The screen faded to black, but the story is only just beginning. What do you think? Did the right person walk away with the title, or was the runner-up robbed of the destiny? Let us know your most honest, emotional thoughts in the comments below, because we're reading every single one of them. Don't forget to like this video if you're as obsessed with the drama as we are, and we'll see you in the next update.